Everybody. Let's talk about it. The real truth about sales and finding bookkeeping clients in 2025. This is probably my favorite topic. I love talking about advertising, sales, marketing, finding bookkeeping clients. This is also the hardest part. One of the hardest parts about starting and growing a bookkeeping business. Honestly, doing the bookkeeping pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Once you learn bookkeeping fundamentals, QuickBooks Online, doing the actual bookkeeping in the beginning, not necessarily the hard part. The hard part, getting clients, sales, finding bookkeeping clients. So let me go through 10 tips. And then if you have questions or comments, let me know in the chat. And then after I go through my notes, I will do my best to answer everybody's questions. I think I might be onto something here. I think I might try to go live every day at 10 a.m., Monday through Friday. Don't hold me to it because I'm super busy. I'm managing my own bookkeeping business, Harrisburg Bookkeeping. I have more than 70 bookkeeping clients that I all manage by myself. I have one subcontractor who does 5 clients. I manage everybody else. And then I'm also growing my investment fund, Zip Capital. So don't hold me to it, but I'm going to try to keep going live maybe every day at 10 a.m. We'll see. I don't want to commit to anything, but if you enjoy these live chats, then definitely tune in Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. I'm going to do my best to go live. So if anybody has any questions or comments, let me know in the chat and let's just jump right into it. Let's get to sales and finding bookkeeping clients. Number one, don't be pushy. We're not selling gimmicks. We're not selling tricks. Just be honest. We are here to solve problems. Bookkeeping is a super legit service. We are literally reducing people's stress by categorizing their transactions so that they can get their financial reports, so that they can file their taxes. We're not selling a scam. We're not selling gimmicks or tricks. Just don't be pushy. Just reach out to people. Hey, I'm a bookkeeper. Let me know if you ever need help with your QuickBooks. And I guarantee you, people will reach out because people genuinely need a good bookkeeper. Number two, most people won't sign up after the first call. You need to follow up. If somebody expresses interest in your company, in your bookkeeping services, and even if you have a meeting with them, even if they agree to your quote and you send them an invoice and you send them a client agreement, don't give up on them. Don't forget about them. You need to follow up with them. So you need to come up with a system for keeping track of your leads. Keep track of them until they pay their invoice, and then they get added to your workflow tracker. So no matter what, you are always keeping up with your leads and your clients. As they transition from lead to client, you're still keeping track of them. So the second that they reach out to you expressing interest in your bookkeeping services, you have to add them to your tracker. It could be fancy CRM software, or it can be a very basic Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, but you need to follow up with people because most of the time they're not going to sign up after the first call, after the first meeting, and they definitely won't schedule a meeting after the first time they see your social media post, after the first time they see your advertisement. So with the same logic, you need to continue creating content because they need to see your content 5, 6, 7 times before they're actually going to schedule a meeting. And then once they schedule a meeting, you need to still follow up 2 or 3 times before they actually pay their invoice. So you need to follow up constantly and consistently. Marketing first. So don't just start cold messaging, cold DMing, cold calling, cold emailing. Don't just start emailing people out of the blue. You need to let your marketing content work first because financial services, bookkeeping, accounting, taxes, business in general, all about trust, all about relationships. You need to build trust first. And that's going to work through your marketing content. So you need to create content on social media every single day. Create content and then create some more content. And then don't stop until you've created more content, because that's what's going to get your name out there and establish you as a bookkeeping expert and a trustworthy person and build relationships with who? With total strangers. These people are total strangers. But the crazy thing is, you can build real, actual relationships with total strangers on the internet just by showing up every single day and being consistent, creating content. So let your marketing work first, build trust, and then reach out to them and then send them a message. It's all about relationships and trust. Small business owners want someone they know and trust. Here's the key difference with bookkeeping services, financial services. We're not selling solar panels. We're not selling something that they might want. We're selling something that people need. So we don't need to convince people they need a bookkeeper. Everybody knows they need to do their bookkeeping. So they have a couple options. Either they can do it themselves, or they can have a family or friend do it for them. They can have an employee do it for them, or they can have an outsourced bookkeeper do it for them. We don't need to convince anybody they need a bookkeeper. Everybody should already know that for the most part. We just need to convince them that they should hire us to do their bookkeeping. And so we need to convince them that one, we first of all, we need to tell them who we are. So if they don't know who we are, we need to announce that, hey, look at me. My name's Zach. I'm a bookkeeper. And then we need to tell them, we need to convince them that they can trust us. And then we also need to convince them that we are a bookkeeping expert. We need to convince them that we know what we're doing. And we do that by just showing up online. We do that by giving out free advice, give out free QuickBooks advice, free bookkeeping advice, create social media marketing content that helps other people. And that's how you're going to build relationships and trust. Small business owners, they don't want a robot. They don't want somebody who lives in a different state, or they want somebody local. They want somebody local for the most part. They want somebody local who they trust, who they know, and who they've seen. So a niche. Let's talk about a niche. It could be helpful. There are different ways to get a niche. I talk a lot about having a service niche and a software niche. I only work with QuickBooks Online, and I only do bookkeeping. So I have a niche in the service that I provide, and I have a niche in the software that I use. So I'm a bookkeeping expert. I'm a QuickBooks Online expert. But let's talk about an industry niche. This comes up a lot, and I see both sides of the argument. I see both sides. On one hand, if you have a niche in, let's say, trucking, the freight market crashed in 2022, I think. And so if you had a niche in trucking, then your business would suffer because a lot of truckers, a lot of owner operators went out of business in 2022. I had an insurance agent who I worked with who he specialized in trucking, and he learned this firsthand. He lost a lot of insurance clients because they went out of business. So that is one downfall of having a niche. Another example would be, if let's say, this is a strange example, but let's say newspaper companies. Let's say you had a niche for somehow newspaper and print companies back in the early 2000s. Well, they probably went out of business in the early 2000s. So that's just kind of a specific example, but you get the idea. Whatever niche you have, you are at risk if that niche goes out of business, or if that niche is having a hard time, or the industry is not doing very well. You run the risk of your bookkeeping business suffering by being super specialized. The other side of the coin is that if you know how to do the bookkeeping specifically for that industry. So I do a lot of bookkeeping for real estate investors, and I will have real estate investors call me and they have horror stories because their previous bookkeeper did not know how to do real estate bookkeeping. And so they messed up their books. So they said, I need a real estate specific bookkeeper. So there are some pros to having a niche because you understand the industry. Accounting is pretty standard across the board, but there are some differences when it comes to chart of accounts and journal entries and class tracking and vendors and customers. There are some specific differences across different industries. So it could be helpful. It could not be helpful. Here's my biggest recommendation. In the beginning, just get 10 clients. Don't pick a niche in the beginning. Just get your first 10 clients, and then you can get a niche after that if you really want to. But I still recommend get your first 10 clients first. Work with a couple different industries, see what you like, see who you like, because different business owners in different industries are different. A restaurant owner on average is probably different than a trucker owner operator on average. That's enough about that. Number 6, referrals will multiply your sales. Happy clients are the best salespeople. So one of the best sales tactics that you can have as a bookkeeper is delivering high quality customer service. So starting a bookkeeping business, 3-step process. Learn bookkeeping, learn QuickBooks. That's step number 1. Step number 2, marketing and sales. That's the hardest part. Step number 3, deliver high quality customer service. That's the most important part, because if you do a good job, then you're going to keep your clients. If you do a bad job, you're going to lose your clients. And then you're going to have to do marketing and sales all over again, double, just to end up with one client because you lost your first client. So do a good job, keep your current clients, and then they will refer you out to other people. Also, when it comes to referrals, multiplying your sales, tell people that you're taking on new clients. Most people assume that professional services are too busy. Lawyers, engineers, accountants, bookkeepers, most people assume that we are too busy and are not taking on new clients because a lot of people who have been in business for 20 years, they are too busy and they aren't taking on new clients. But for us, we're brand new, we're just getting started. So once you get a few clients and once you've been working with them for 6 months, obviously don't get a client and then ask for a referral right away. But once you've been working with somebody for 6 months, email them, say, hey, Tim, I really like working with you. If you know anybody else similar to you and the way you run your business, if they're looking for a bookkeeper, or if you know anybody else who might benefit from my bookkeeping services, feel free to pass along my information. I'm hoping to take on 2 new clients this year, and I would love for them to come as a referral from you. So don't come across as too needy, too desperate. Don't say, hey, I'm looking to get 30 new clients in the next 30 days. Just keep it simple. Keep it small. Hey, I'm just looking to take on 2 new clients. And then of course you can send that same email to 50 different people. You can tell all 50 people, hey, I'm just looking to onboard 2 new clients. So if you know anybody, feel free to pass along my information. A lot of people don't know that you are trying to get more clients. So tell your current clients that you're looking for referrals. Sales is a numbers game. Don't get discouraged. More sales, more meetings, more clients. Think about it like this. It probably takes 30 days for somebody to see your content before they actually want to book a meeting. It's probably going to take 100 meetings to get 10 people to say yes, just on average. And then 10 people say yes, and then maybe only 40% of the people who actually agree end up signing your client agreement and actually on board as a customer. So it's going to take 30 days to get 4 clients because you need to do 100 meetings and only 10 of them are going to say yes. And then only 4 out of the 10 who say yes are actually going to sign up. So you get the idea. It's just a sales game. So if you've done 3 sales calls and all 3 of them have ghosted you, that's just unfortunately business. It's a numbers game. You have to create a lot of content. You have to have a lot of meetings. You have to get a lot of clients to kind of get a feel for how things work. People are going to ghost you. People are going to say no. People are not going to show up to your meetings. People aren't going to book meetings with you. People aren't going to accept your friend request. You need to send out 100 friend requests in order to get 30 new friends. So maybe you only have a 30% success rate with sending out new connection requests, but it's just a numbers game. You just got to keep going, keep doing more. Quick coffee break. If you guys are liking this video, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this live, go ahead and drop a question in the chat. And if you've been watching for the past couple of weeks, you already know I'm going to do my best to answer everybody's questions. It can be about anything. It can be about QuickBooks, bookkeeping, sales, marketing, anything. Okay, a couple more, and then we'll get to the questions. Negotiate through objections. It's not a dead end. If somebody tells you, I'm not interested, or if somebody tells you that's too high, or if somebody tells you, oh, I was hoping for $500, you quoted me $800, that's too much. It's not a dead end. It's not give up and quit. It's the beginning of a negotiation. So just keep that in mind. If somebody says, oh, I'm not looking to hire a new bookkeeper right now, ask them why. Hey, just curious, why don't you want to hire a new bookkeeper right now? Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize the benefit of having a bookkeeper in real time. People might just think they need a bookkeeper for taxes, but what they're missing out on is updated, accurate financial reports in real time so that they can see the profitability and the growth and the success or the failure of their company in real time before it's too late. So that could be a really good selling point. They might think, oh, it's September. I'm going to wait until tax season to hire a bookkeeper. Let them know, hey, it's probably good to hire a bookkeeper now so that you actually know if your business is profitable in September, October, November of 2025. You don't want to wait until tax season, until 6 months into this thing to realize that you're bleeding cash and you're losing money and your business is probably maybe spending too much on advertising, too much on payroll, too much on inventory. Or flip side, maybe your business is extremely successful and maybe you could afford to hire a few people. Maybe you're super stressed out because you're making $20,000 a month and you haven't hired anybody, but you don't know that your business is super profitable. So there's a lot of benefit to having a bookkeeper in real time. So, or if somebody says, let's say you quote somebody $800 and they say, oh, no, that's too much. Ask them, okay, appreciate you letting me know. What is your budget? Or how much were you hoping for? Or what's a good number for you? They might come back and say, well, I was really hoping to keep it under $600. Amazing. Then let them know, okay, I said 800, you said 600, how about 700? And they might be like, you know what? That's fair. Let's do 700. You're only $100 off. But if you didn't follow up, if you didn't negotiate, you potentially would have lost that client. So just don't be afraid to ask questions. And then finally, if somebody does say, hey, thanks, not interested, after you sent them a quote, follow up again. Be like, hey, appreciate your honesty. Thanks for letting me know. One last question for you. Would you just mind telling me why you decided to go with somebody else? Ask. You've got literally nothing left to lose. Be polite. Don't be too pushy. Be polite. Just send them one email. Just thank them for their time and then just ask them, hey, just curious, why did you decide to go with somebody else? You're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn. Maybe it's, oh, my CPA is offering to do my bookkeeping and my taxes combined, so I'm just going to go with him. Or maybe it's, well, you quoted me 1,000, somebody else quoted me 300, so I'm going to go with them. Or maybe it's, oh, well, somebody from my networking group, I'm going to go with them because they're in my networking group and I just want to give them a chance because they're in my networking group. Or, hey, you're in Connecticut, I'm in Pennsylvania, I'm going to go with somebody who's local, so I appreciate your time, but I'm just going to go with some local. Always ask. Always ask. You've got literally nothing left to lose. Okay, two more. Be tech savvy. Leverage social media, cloud software, artificial intelligence. A lot of bookkeepers who have been around for 20, 30 years, there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons to somebody who's 25 years old with no experience, somebody who's 50 years old with 30 years of experience. The 50-year-old with 30 years of experience, probably a little bit less tech savvy, potentially on average. I know there's some 50-year-olds watching this right now who are super tech savvy, but on average, generally speaking, 50-year-olds are less tech savvy than 25-year-olds. And the reverse, on average, a 50-year-old person typically appears to be more wise, has more experience than a 25-year-old. So there's pros and cons to each. But if you are brand new and you have very little experience, you need to be tech savvy. You need to be able to leverage social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, wherever you are on social media. You got to leverage social media. And then cloud software, QuickBooks Online. Intuit is slowly getting rid of QuickBooks Desktop. If you haven't noticed, I know it's making a lot of accountants and bookkeepers unhappy, but QuickBooks Online is taking over. Xero is another great accounting software. I've never used it, but QuickBooks Online, cloud software, Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, Zoom, Google Meet, Dropbox, cloud software. And then, of course, artificial intelligence. You need to be able to leverage artificial intelligence. You're not going to get replaced by robots, but you're going to get replaced by people who know how to use robots. All right, last one. And then I promise I see some chat. I see some questions in the chat. I promise I will get to all of your questions as soon as I'm done with this last one. And then one more thing I do have to mention, this video is sponsored by my investment fund, Zip Capital. So I'm offering 8% to 12% fixed returns to accredited investors. You have to be a US citizen, but if you want to learn more about my real estate debt investment fund, there's a link in the description of this video and you can register on my website and you can check out my investment fund. So great opportunity. If you've got $25,000 or more of cash sitting in a bank CD or a savings account, money market account, maybe a treasury bill earning 3%, maybe 4%. I'm offering 8% up to 12%. And the best thing, everything is secured by real estate. So all the loans that I do are all secured by real estate. Okay, so that's the sponsor for this video, Zip Capital. All right, consistency wins. Number 10. You've heard me talk about it before. Consistency, consistency, consistency. My YouTube channel is proof of consistency. I've been consistently making videos multiple times per week for the past 4 years. Now I have 45,000 subscribers on YouTube, not because I'm special. I'm just like you. I'm just a regular guy. I'm sitting in my home in Pennsylvania. I'm talking on a webcam. I've got a laptop, just a regular guy. I'm not some big fancy company, big fancy corporation. I'm just a regular guy, but I've been consistent for a long period of time. Super hard. It's simple, but it's very, very hard. Don't ever let anybody tell you that bookkeeping, sales, marketing, starting a business is easy, because it's not. It's really, really hard. But if you're consistent, you can be successful. Accountants are not natural salespeople or natural marketing people. It's true. It's unfortunate, but typically somebody who is an accountant or a bookkeeper or somebody who thinks like an accountant, kind of like an engineer, accountant, problem solver, analytical, strategic, typically not super great salespeople or super great marketers. So that's a bad thing, because a lot of us on average aren't great, but that's a good thing, because that means competition is low. Competition is low for people that to have good sales skills or good marketing strategy or great communication skills. So the bar is very low. The competition is low. So if you can create content, if you can communicate with your clients efficiently and effectively, then you will be ahead of your competition. Okay, so that's my truth about sales and finding bookkeeping clients in 2025. I hope that was helpful. Now let's get to the chat. Let's get to the questions. So if you're just now joining, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please let me know in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer everybody's questions. Quick 5-second coffee break. All right, Jackson, what would you suggest for marketing if you're new to an area? Lived in my community for a relatively short time. I don't have many network contacts. Just get started today. Sure, the best time to get started would have been 5 years ago. It would have been great if you could have been in your community for 5 or 10 years. Get started today. Start today. It's going to be harder, but the only thing you can do is just get started. Start creating content. Just start telling people, hey, look at me. I'm a bookkeeper. I'm starting my bookkeeping business. Just create content every single day, and then just start connecting with people. Start connecting with people. Start sending friend requests on Facebook. Connect with people on LinkedIn. Engage with their content. Just be polite, positive, and professional. The crazy thing is it doesn't matter if you've been around for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. If you're a negative, nasty, mean person on the internet, then your reputation is destroyed in seconds. But on the flip side, if you're brand new, if you are polite, positive, and professional for 6 months, all of a sudden you've got a great reputation. So it's very easy to build up your reputation just by being polite, positive, and professional. But it's also very easy to destroy your reputation in seconds if you are negative, nasty, and mean. So it doesn't matter how long you've been around. It just matters how you behave today and in the future. So just be polite, be professional. Don't be negative. Don't be mean. Don't be nasty. And you're going to be fine. Jackson, I wouldn't worry about it. Just start today. Don't give up. It's going to be hard, but it's possible. JC, would you suggest a niche based on background? Got a master's degree in exercise physiology. So chiros, physical therapist, and docs I gravitate toward because of my years of anatomy and physiology background. So should you pick a niche? I generally say no in the beginning unless you have prior experience. Let's say you were a trucker and you were an owner operator for 10 years and then you started a bookkeeping business. Trucking, probably a natural niche. Let's say you owned a restaurant, you owned a food truck for 5 years. Restaurants, probably a natural niche. JC, for you, having a master's degree in exercise physiology probably makes sense for you to target specifically chiropractors and physical therapists. Yes, in your example, I would say pick a niche. That is probably a good idea. But also, so here's the thing about picking a niche. So there's so many different spaces where we are on the internet. You've got your website, Google My Business, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Just because you have a niche in one place doesn't mean you have to have a niche everywhere. Keep that in mind. For example, for me, I talk about truckers a lot because I had a trucking company in 2021 and 2022. And on YouTube, I talked exclusively about my trucking company. But Facebook and my website and LinkedIn, I didn't say anything about trucking. I just talked about bookkeeping in general on Facebook. And my website has always been just standard, straightforward bookkeeping, no niche, no industry. But YouTube, literally, my name was the Box Truck Accountant. The Box Truck Accountant was my name on YouTube 5 years ago. So I was very heavily niched on YouTube specifically. All my content on YouTube was just about trucking. And then all my content on Facebook was all about just bookkeeping in general. Also, take a look at what I'm doing right now. All my content on Facebook is pretty much all about Zip Capital, but all my content on YouTube is all about starting a bookkeeping business. So I do kind of have almost like a different niche on different platforms. Does that make sense? My YouTube channel is promoting how to start a bookkeeping business. My Facebook page is promoting Zip Capital, invest in Zip Capital. So just because you have a niche in one place doesn't mean you have to have a niche everywhere. Alec, good morning, Zach. If you were to start a brand new bookkeeping business in a new location today, what are 3 important things that you would do? Get a Google My Business profile, number one. Number one, get a Google My Business profile. That's what I would do if I was starting a bookkeeping business in a brand new location. I would create more exciting, engaging content in the beginning if I was just getting started. Whenever I got started, I just created hardcore bookkeeping posts. Every post was just hardcore bookkeeping tip, and it wasn't super successful. So you got to mix it up. You got to be more creative. People like to see updates. People love to see updates. Whenever I post on Facebook about Zip Capital, I post, hey, update, I just got a new investor. Or hey, update, I've got the number right there on the wall, $1 million. Like, hey, update, I just passed $1 million invested in Zip Capital. People love updates. People love to see you traveling and doing things. So if you go out to eat, take a picture at a local restaurant, like, hey, just had a bookkeeping meeting with a potential client at my local pizza shop, and like snap a picture. Post pictures of what you're doing, post updates. I see there's a couple people who I follow on Facebook who I'm friends with who have been following me and have been learning from me. And I've been seeing them post updates like just got my 5th bookkeeping client. I'm so close to hitting my goal of $5,000 of monthly revenue. So those are really impactful. So get a Google My Business profile, post a lot of updates on Facebook. And then the other thing that I would start doing right away is having more social media channels. So in the beginning, I didn't have Instagram or YouTube or Twitter or TikTok or anything like that. I just had Facebook and LinkedIn. So I would try to actually, this is going to sound crazy, I would actually post more in the beginning if I could. Stories, Facebook story, Instagram story, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, TikTok videos, Twitter, X. I would post more often, multiple times per day, keep my story updated, keep it more engaging, keep it more exciting. That's what I would do. So hopefully that was helpful. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I would do if I was just getting started. 3 important things that I would do if I would not go to people's business. I would not travel in office. I would only work virtually, remotely. I would also probably do a few more in-person networking events. I was very against in-person networking events, but I do think there's a lot of value. I think it's good to combine the online presence with the in-person stuff. The in-person stuff, people are like, oh yeah, I've seen you. I know who you are. It makes you more legitimate, more credible. It makes you a real person when you show up to in-person networking events. So maybe 1 per month, maybe 2 per quarter. You don't need to go every single week, but I do think in-person networking events can be super impactful when they're strategically paired with online social media marketing. Alexis, Luis, good morning. Yesterday, someone asked about what to do when you have old, unrecognized Old, unrecognized. Alexis, if you could try to ask, oh, it looks like good morning. Yesterday, someone asked about unreconciled transactions left over from previous years. I am working on a 24 cleanup, and there are many old transactions in my reconciliation window. Okay, so this is a hardcore bookkeeping tip, hardcore bookkeeping question. Okay, so old transactions in your reconciliation window. So it all depends. If they're from 2023, if they've already filed their taxes, then I guess you have two options. You can ask the client, like take a screenshot maybe and say, "Hey, here's some old 2023 transactions. If you want, I can just do one single journal entry just to clear them off the books." Or like, what do you want me to do with these? These happened in 2023. You've already filed your taxes in 2023. So maybe ask the client what they want you to do, or you could just do something and tell the client. So if you've got old 2023 transactions and you're trying to do a 2024 cleanup, then just select all the transactions from 2023 or years before, and then just do one journal entry to cancel it out. So select all the transactions, and then whatever the difference is, then just do a journal entry to retained earnings just to cancel out those unreconciled, uncleared transactions from previous years. And then if you want, you can take a screenshot of what you did, take a screenshot of the journal entry, and tell your client, hey, here were these 10 transactions from 2023. I know you already filed your taxes, so your taxes are already done, but I just want to let you know I did this journal entry to clear these transactions out of your reconciliation. Also, whenever I'm doing a 2024 cleanup, if you've only hired me to do a 2024 cleanup, I'm not touching anything else. So if you're I'm only a 2024 cleanup means that I'm only working on 2024 transactions. If you hire me to start bookkeeping in September of 2025, that means I'm only touching September 2025 transactions. You don't just hire me for September of 2025 and expect me to work for all of the transactions in 2025. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, oh, I'm going to pay you $500 starting today. So now you're just my bookkeeper just to work as much as I want on anything during the month of September. No, it doesn't work like that. When you pay for September, I'm only working on September transactions. So that's a very important distinction. Coastal Pink, is class tracking the same as job costing or expense tracking? Yes. Class tracking, project tracking, they're technically two separate things. They both require QuickBooks Online Plus. They both require an upgraded subscription, and they are technically different. You can utilize both at the same time, but there's class tracking and there's project tracking. Typically, so project tracking, every project needs a customer. So typically, if it's a construction project, let's say you're doing a remodel at Zach's house, and Zach is the customer, and then you're working on the basement, but then you come back and you do the kitchen. So you would have Zach as the customer, and then a project would be basement, and then another project would be kitchen. So that's like a pretty easy way to think about it. And then class tracking is more for like a real estate investor. Let's say he's working on Zach's house, or he's flipping Zach's house, and then he's also flipping Jamie's house. So he's going to have two separate classes for Zach's house and Jamie's house. When he goes to Home Depot, is he buying supplies for Zach's house or Jamie's house? When he pays for the utility bills or insurance or interest or property taxes, is that for Zach's house or Jamie's house? So that's class tracking and project tracking. They're similar, but they are different. Irina Pack, good morning, Zach. What are your main tips for closing sales? It seems I just cannot close the deal. Thank you. You got to be quick. You have to be fast. You have to follow up. Every single time you follow up, there needs to be next steps. What are the next steps? You need to be very clear, very simple. The whole purpose of hiring a bookkeeper is to alleviate your stress. So you want to be simple, straightforward, fast, easy, quick. What are the next steps? You don't want to add more stress. You want to simplify things for your client. So when somebody calls me, I say, hey, like, what are you looking for? What are your problems? Tell me about your business. They tell me about their business. I say, okay, I can do bookkeeping. Do you already have QuickBooks Online? If they already have QuickBooks Online, I say, great. Do you want to invite me to your QuickBooks right now so I can take a look? And they say, oh, sure. I say, okay, great. Let log into your QuickBooks. I'll give you my email address. I'll walk you through step by step. If they don't have QuickBooks, I say, okay, that's fine. If you want me to give you a quote, I just need to see your 3 most recent bank statements. Or if it's a 2024 cleanup, while I'm on the phone, I'm bringing this up because I'm just giving examples. While I'm on the phone, next steps, collect information, do something while you're on the phone. So you want to ask questions, you want to figure out what their problems are on the phone. And then before you hang up, I try to send an email. So either get a QuickBooks invitation or send an email. So, hey, we're on the phone. What's your email address? Type, type, type. Here's their email address. Okay. You want a 2024 cleanup. So the subject is book 2024 bookkeeping. In the body, hey, please send me your 2024 bank statements and credit card statements. While I'm on the phone, like while I'm talking to this person, I'm multitasking. I'm in my office. I'm sending an email. Boom, send. Hey, John, I just sent you an email. Would you mind double checking? I just want to make sure it didn't go to your spam folder. I want to make sure I spelled your email address right. Could you please just double check and make sure you got my email? John, type, type, type. Oh, yep, I just got your email. Okay, I see it here. Bookkeeping, 2024 bookkeeping. Okay, you need my bank statements and my credit card statements. Okay. So as soon as, while I'm on the phone with John, I'm going to send him that email, or I'm going to get the QuickBooks invitation. And then now pretty much it's on them. But what you can do is add them to your tracker. In 48 hours, if you don't hear back from John, call him. Hey, John, this is Zach, Harrisburg Bookkeeping. Just calling. Did you have any questions about trying to get your bank statements or credit card statements? Just wondering if there's anything I can do to help. Oh, no, sorry, Zach, been super busy. I'll send those over this evening. Okay, great. 5 days later, 7 days after the original email. Hey, John, just following up one more time. Notice I haven't seen your bank statements, haven't seen your credit card statements. Just wondering, is there anything I can do to help? You need anything? Have any questions? If he doesn't answer, send him an email. If he doesn't respond after 7 days, keep him on your tracker. Follow up. Like I said in the beginning of this video, follow up, follow up, follow up. Just because somebody has a sales consultation with you and doesn't respond to you doesn't mean they're not interested. It just means they're too busy right now to respond. So follow up every 30 days. Hey, John, just following up. Do you still want help with your bookkeeping? Let me know. Email, simple email, super straightforward. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Follow up, and then be quick. Once you do get the QuickBooks invite, once you do get the bank statements, send them a quote immediately. Send them a quote same day. There's no reason to wait 24 hours. Send them a quote within 2 hours of receiving their email. Be super fast, super quick. And then same concept. If you don't hear back from them in 48 hours, call them. If you don't hear back from them in 7 days, call them. Hey, John, just following up. I sent you the quote a couple days ago. Just wondering, did you have any questions? Okay, Stuart. Zach, are you cool with working with people you know already? Not really. Not a big fan of working with family and friends. Unless they're a business acquaintance is different, but family and friends, not a huge fan of it. It's okay, but not a huge fan. I'm coming from roofing sales, and I've always hesitated to work with people I know just because of the risk of relationship. Yet a lot of it depends on the relationship. If you're really good friends with them, I'm not a huge fan of it. But if you're business acquaintances, then I think that's okay. But yeah, family, probably not. Friends, maybe not. It all depends. Let's see. I always lose my spot. Okay. Alexis, good morning. Yesterday, someone asked, oh, yep, already answered that. Alexis, can you circle back to that, please? Thank you for your time. Yep, I think I answered that. Brian, hey, Zach, I'm on day 20 of posting content via Facebook and LinkedIn, requesting friends. Most have accepted, and I'm waiting to reach out. Is my message to them as simple as an intro and pitch? Brian, I really think it is. Quick coffee break, and then I'll answer your question. Brian, yeah. Here's my pitch. Hey, I'm a bookkeeper. Let me know if you ever need help with your QuickBooks. Honestly, that's how simple it was for me. The only other one that I did was, hey, I'm trying to grow my bookkeeping business. Let me know if you know anybody who might benefit from my services. I would really appreciate an introduction. That's a little bit less direct, and people love giving referrals. People love trying to connect people. So it's a little bit less direct, but it can work. And also you accomplish the same thing, because if they need a bookkeeper, they'll probably be like, hey, I don't know anybody, but actually, as a matter of fact, I need a bookkeeper. But yeah, seriously, Brian, I do think it's just as simple as, hey, I'm a bookkeeper. Let me know if you need help with your QuickBooks. That's what I'm doing right now with Zip Capital on LinkedIn. I'm literally doing this exact same thing. I have Sales Navigator, and I send 30 connection requests every single day. And then I send a message to people, like just this morning, literally just this morning. It's the first thing I do every single day. That's how powerful I think this is. Just this morning, I sent a message to 12 people who accepted my LinkedIn connection request on August 26th, which was 30 days ago. 12 people. And I sent them a message. Hey, if you have $25,000 or more and you're looking for an alternative investment, maybe consider Zip Capital. I'm offering 8% up to 12% fixed returns. If you want to chat, I would love to schedule a meeting. Something so super simple. Yeah, Brian, it really is that simple. But hey, congratulations on 20 days of posting content via Facebook. That's very exciting. So, congratulations, Brian. I have a course for everybody else. I have a course. If you need help starting your bookkeeping business, learning bookkeeping, QuickBooks, sales, marketing, it's linked below. I have a course that teaches you everything you need to know. There's also a 30-day social media marketing strategy guide, QuickBooks tutorials, customer service tips. It's like 10 hours of video content. It's all planned out perfectly so that you can just go through the entire thing in one weekend and learn everything you need to know. It's a lot easier, a lot less time than watching 100 hours of my YouTube videos. So it's great. Check it out if you want. It's linked in the description of this video. Simon, hey, Zach, we chatted on this the other day and I did a bit more research. In UK, VAT threshold is 90,000 euros, which is around $120,000. Do you think it would be viable to only service clients under $120,000 of revenue? Simon, I think that's going to really limit you. There's a lot of business owners who make more than $120,000 of revenue. So I probably would not recommend doing that. I would probably talk to some other UK or Canadian bookkeepers and find out more about how they handle VAT. But 120,000 revenue seems a little bit too low. I think you're really going to limit yourself to who you can work with. Johnny, the whole process of sales tax and other taxes in QBO really confuses me. Can you explain the workflow of taxes and how you handle it in QBO? So sales tax is really difficult. I don't do sales tax for clients anymore, for any new clients, but I do have a few older clients who do have sales tax in QuickBooks. So they calculate all the sales tax. So I just go to the sales tax tab. I just click on last month and I look at the most recent sales tax report and I just get two numbers: gross sales and taxable sales. And those are the only two numbers that you need. And then I go to the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue website and I type in their gross sales, their taxable sales, and then it calculates how much they owe in sales tax for that month. And then you can process payment that way. And then you go back to QuickBooks and then you can record the payment. You can mark the sales tax as paid. But I don't do this anymore for any new clients. Sales tax, I just say, hey, no, I'm sorry. Usually my clients have their CPA process their sales tax for them. So Johnny, if it really stresses you out, if it really confuses you, I don't think you need to process sales tax for people. I think you can pass that off to the CPA. Jessica, good morning. Are you weary of potential clients trying to scam you? Have you dealt with any people trying to do chargebacks? So Jessica, I don't accept credit card payments. So I only do ACH transfers or checks. But no, I haven't really experienced that. And here's why, because so you have to pay me on the first day of the month. So if you want me, so first of all, I always require payment upfront. So if you want me to start doing your bookkeeping in September, I'm going to send you an invoice for $500 and you have to pay that invoice for $500. And then I'm going to do your bookkeeping. And then October 1st, you're going to pay me October 1st for October bookkeeping. So if somebody did scam me, absolute worst case scenario is I would maybe do 1 month of bookkeeping for free and then they would do a chargeback and I had to pay in the back and I would just never work with them again. But honestly, as long as you do a good job, I don't think that's going to happen. Work with reputable companies, do a good job, be a good bookkeeper. It's really never happened to me. I've never got a bad review about my bookkeeping services on Google. I've never really had a chargeback. I don't think it's something to worry about. Do a good job. And worst case scenario, you might lose out on 1 month of bookkeeping. But honestly, it doesn't happen too often. Let's see. That was a good question. That's a unique question. I haven't had that one before. Jessica, I'm not a salesperson at all. I'm going to purchase your social media marketing strategy. Would I repost these each month or is it just for a jump start? Jessica, it's just designed to jumpstart. It's just designed for the first 30 days. So it's going to give you it's going to help you build up, kind of like teach you what to do, how to do it, and kind of build up the motion of going through and creating content for 30 days. So Jessica, it's on my website, harrisburgbookkeeping.com/store. It is linked below. and it'll tell you exactly when to post, what to post. But no, it's not going to help you for the next 30 days. It's only for the first 30 days. But hopefully, once you've used my social media marketing strategy guide, and once you've kind of done it for 30 days, hopefully you've kind of learned what works and what doesn't work. And then you can go from there. Also, follow me on Facebook. All my social media channels are linked below. Follow me on social media and see what I post. Obviously, you're not going to copy and paste my exact posts, but what I post, when I post, how I post, what I talk about, the way I talk about things, you can learn a lot from following me and from seeing how I do things, and kind of take my style and learn, tweak it, and incorporate some of the things I do into your own style. Let's see, Johnny. I'm cleaning up QuickBooks for 2025. Client filed 2024 taxes, but has many uncategorized 2024 transactions. They said, don't touch 2024. How do I remove them without messing up QuickBooks or reconciliations? Johnny, that's a tough question. It's kind of too tough to answer without really seeing what you have going on. So for a question like that, I do have one-on-one consultations linked down below. That's a little bit too hard of a question to answer without exactly seeing what you have going on your screen in the QuickBooks account, unfortunately. So if you really want help, you can schedule a 30-minute consultation with me directly, but that's a little bit too complicated to try to go through kind of talking through that. But I guess I can try to help real quick. They said don't touch 2024. How do I remove them without messing up the book? So I guess it all depends on, what do you mean by uncategorized? Do you mean transactions sitting in the bank feed? If they're sitting in the bank feed and if the books are already reconciled, you can just simply exclude them. But if the books haven't been reconciled in 2023, then I guess that's a whole different situation. So yeah, it's kind of tough to answer that exactly without seeing the bank feed and the reconciliation and the trial balance. Johnny, your faith is inspiring. Appreciate you. I'd love to hear more about your faith if you ever want to talk about it. Yeah, Johnny. Over the past 5 years, my wife and I just decided to put God first in our marriage. Honestly, we decided to raise our family going to church every Sunday, and we've just got a lot more involved in my church. And I just can't help but feel like God has blessed me and my business, and he has kind of just truthfully enabled me to make a lot of money in this particular season of my life. So I just can't help but feel like I want to give that back to God, basically. So I'm trying to donate a lot more money to my church to try to help grow our church and just try to reach more people in our local community. So I'm really focused on our local community, my local church. And right now I'm just so thankful that God has literally blessed me with an abundance of money right now in this particular season of life. And so I just want to give it back. I want to give it back to God. So we are donating a significant amount of my income right now back to the church. So yeah, that's just kind of my faith. And also, not only are we doing that, I'm trying to donate as much as I possibly can back to the church, but also I'm trying to be more open about it. I'm trying to be more vocal about my faith on social media, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially new entrepreneurs, myself included, are afraid to talk about their faith because you don't want to offend anybody. You don't want to lose a potential client in the beginning. And so I'm just trying to be a light for other new entrepreneurs who probably feel the same way I do and who wish they could or wish they felt more confident to talk about their faith. I want to normalize being vocal about my faith and trusting God and giving all the glory to God, because ultimately I believe he has blessed me with all of my gifts. And so I'm just trying to be a good steward of what he's given me. So Johnny, I appreciate you asking about that. Tamika, how do I find a contract template that aligns with the bookkeeping industry? I have potential clients mentioning trial periods and other clauses that I'm not even sure is the norm in the industry. So Tamika, great question. I have a client agreement that you can download on my website, harrisburgbookkeeping.com/store, linked below in the description of this video. And it's my client agreement. I think it's $25, and it's the exact same client agreement that I still use today. How much do you bench turmoil? That's a great question. So I don't really bench too often. I think I hit 300 for 5 reps the other day, but today I'm squatting 485 pounds. So I'm trying to hit 500. So a lot of you probably don't know that, but just to get a little personal real quick, my goal is to squat 500. So today on Monday, no, not that anybody cares, but since you asked, Turmoil, on Monday, I squatted 465, 2 sets of 2 reps. And today I'm going to try to do 485. And then hopefully December, maybe January, I'm going to try to hit 500. So bench, I don't really care too much about bench. I could, I don't know, 300 5 times. I don't know I don't really have a 1 rep max, but I care a lot about my squat. I'm trying to squat 500 pounds. So that is 100% my priority. Appreciate you asking that. I love talking about working out. I love going to the gym. I go to the gym, fun fact, every single day at 12 p.m. So I'm not a morning person. I like to drink a cup of coffee and do computer work first thing in the morning. And then I'll work from 5 to 8. And then I'll take a 30-minute breakfast break from 8 to 8:30. And then I'll work from 8:30 to 12. And then I'll go to the gym from 12 to 1, eat lunch from 1:15 to 1:45, and then work from 2 to 5. So what is that? Like 3 hours of work in the evening, 3 hours of work in the morning, and then 3 hours of work in my second morning. So about 9 hours. Yeah, I probably work 9-10 hours every single day, Monday through Friday. And then Saturday, I try to work for 2 hours on Saturday. And then Sunday, I usually don't work at all unless it's month end close. And then I'll work for maybe 1 hour. So I probably work 45 to 55 hours per week. Let's see. Audrey, would you recommend separate social channels for the bookkeeping business? I just don't want to mix my family related posts with business posts, but I don't want to hinder each either. Audrey, go to my Facebook, look at my Facebook, see what I post. I'm a pretty open person, as you can probably guess. I'm a pretty open and transparent person. I think family posts are amazing for promoting your bookkeeping business, for promoting Zip Capital right now. My family posts do really, really well. And I think that's great for the algorithm. I think that's great for boosting engagement. So Audrey, go check out my Facebook. Everything that I do is all run through one Facebook page. So go check out my Facebook, see the kind of stuff that I post, see how often I post. Facebook has been one of the greatest tools for growing Harrisburg Bookkeeping and Zip Capital. Everything runs through my personal Facebook page. Audrey, go check it out. I think you might be surprised at how often I post and what I post about. If you're willing to be that open on your Facebook page, I think it can be incredibly helpful for building trust and building relationships with potential clients on the internet. Okay. Johnny, what are your best strategies for productivity and maximizing your time? Be passionate about what you do, Johnny. If you love what you do, if you like what you do, you're going to work harder than you ever have before. Think about this. You have the potential to make 100% sales, 100% commission. The harder you work, the more money you can make. So if you like making money, you're going to like running your bookkeeping business. Best strategies for productivity. I don't know. I don't really know what I do. I'm pretty distracted throughout the day. I'll be honest. Like I'm scatterbrained, but I don't really have any good productivity tips. I work from home, so I don't waste time going to my office. I work from home. I wake up early. I try to stay off my phone during the day. I get emails. I have a list of tasks that I have to get done, and I try to get everything done in the morning. My goal is every day I want to get all of my stuff done before I go to the gym, before 12 p.m. So ideally, I get everything done before 12 p.m. And then when I go to the gym, I get a ton of emails during lunch from my clients. And then in the afternoon, I have a whole new list of things to do. So I try to get everything done every day. I try to get my entire list done every single day. That way, I free up my time for new projects the next day. I try to get everything done today so that if I get a cleanup project tomorrow, I can work on it. If I get a new investor tomorrow, I can work on it. If I want to do a video tomorrow, I can do it because I try to do everything that I need to do today. I don't wait for tomorrow to do anything. I get everything done today. This is crazy, but every single night, I try to go to bed with 0 unread emails. How crazy is that? My email inbox is always, whenever I take a shower and go to bed, my email inbox is almost always completely zeroed out, unread. So that could be a good challenge for you. That's a good productivity, maximizing your time hack every single day. Go to bed with 0 unread emails. That's what I try to do. CJ, hey, Zach, would you take your first client at no cost just to get experience and get connections? CJ, probably not. I probably would not do that. At least 25 bucks an hour. That's fair. Work for 25 bucks an hour. That's incredibly cheap for an outsourced bookkeeper. Don't work for free. Just work for 25 bucks an hour, because very quickly you're going to feel you're not going to like it. Very quickly, after like 30 days of it, you're going to be like, forget this. I don't want to do this. And then what do? Do you fire them? Do they fire you? Do you leave? It's going to be kind of awkward. But at least if you're working 25 bucks an hour, at least you could just rack up the hours and like get more money. Don't work for free. Work at a discount at the very least. 20, 25 bucks an hour is super cheap for an outsourced bookkeeper. Brett, how would you quote a brand new business? I have someone doing their first fix and flip and literally just opened a new business account. 250 bucks a month. That seems fair. 250 a month. And then let them know, maybe 300 bucks a month, and let them know like, hey, you're a brand new business. I'm giving you my basic intro package of 300 bucks a month. Just so you know, it could go up depending on how quickly your business grows. So we'll start with 300 bucks a month. I'm not going to lock you into a long-term contract. It could go up, but we'll see. Let's give it 3 months, maybe 2 months, and we'll see how it goes. But 250, 300, that seems fair. Cafayette, what's your take on onboarding and practice management software? Ignition versus Carbon, which is better to use? I have, this is crazy, I've never heard of Ignition or Carbon. So I don't use any practice management software. I've heard of Keeper. That's the only one I've heard of. I've never used it. I don't know. I literally just do bookkeeping. I just log into people's QuickBooks and I update their bank feed and I categorize their transactions once a week. It's so super simple. My take on practice management software, it overcomplicates things. And if you have questions to ask your client, if you think they're going to log into Keeper or some practice management software to answer your questions, I can't imagine that. I have a hard enough time getting my clients to just respond to my direct emails to their inbox. I can't imagine they're going to log into some third-party practice management software to upload documents and answer questions. I've never used it. I don't plan on ever using it. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. Elena Smith, good morning. I'm ready to start, but a little tight on money. Do I need an LLC right now? An LLC costs $100, maybe a little bit more. I think in Pennsylvania, it's like $120. Definitely recommend start an LLC. Get an LLC. Definitely recommend. I think it's a good idea. All you need is a computer, a laptop, an internet connection, an LLC, an EIN, which is free, a business bank account, which is totally free. That's all you need. That's literally all you need. EIN, LLC, bank account, internet connection, laptop. Yes, I recommend get an LLC. I think it's a good idea. Florida Adventure Mom, what do you message people on LinkedIn for bookkeeping? Hey, my name's Zach. I'm a bookkeeper. Let me know if you ever need help with your QuickBooks. I try to keep it super, super simple. Jessica, thank you. You're welcome. David, do you feel like attending conferences are worth it for business development? David, I don't know. I've never attended a conference before. I've gone to in-person networking events. So here's the thing. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. If you're the type of person who is introverted and doesn't love the idea of small talk with strangers, don't do it. If you're extroverted and if you love meeting new people, sure, go ahead and do it. Here's the thing though. With networking events, you have to be outgoing. You have to get something out of it. So if you go to a networking event and don't talk to anybody, totally useless, absolute waste of your time, totally useless. So if you go to these networking events, be prepared to talk to people, shake hands, ask questions, get to know people, pass out your business card, get contact information, meet new people. Everybody is there for the same purpose. So don't be afraid to walk up to somebody, shake their hand, ask them a couple questions, get to know them, meet new people. So if you want to go to these things, do it with the intent of meeting new people. Have a plan. Be like, hey, in the first 30 minutes, I'm going to meet 2 new people in the first 30 minutes. Or I'm going to this thing for 3 hours. My goal is to meet 10 new people. I wanna get 10 business cards from 10 new people. That would be my goal. So be intentional. CJ, also, what's up with the logo on your shirt? Normally, you have a plain black shirt. So this is a local clothing company, Major Prep. This is a local clothing company, and honestly, I have a bunch of black T-shirts in my closet, and it was dark this morning when I grabbed a T-shirt, and I just accidentally grabbed this one. But yeah, Major Prep. This is a local clothing company in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and actually, my son went to school with the owner's nephew. So that's how I know the owner, because his nephew is really good friends with my son. So if you want to check him out, I guess a little plug for Major Prep, go check them out. They've got really cool shirts and really great local clothing company. One more question. And I'm not like an affiliate with this company or anything. I just wanted to support my son's friend's uncle. Kind of crazy. Let's see, Alec, do you recommend starting new social media accounts? No, I would not do that. I feel like my current accounts won't look professional since I've had them for 10 years. I got my Facebook account in 2008. I'm sure I said some heinous things back in 2009, 2010. Don't look it up. Don't cancel me. But no, just clean up your pictures. If you have some like obviously inappropriate profile pictures of you like partying or doing inappropriate things, yeah, delete those pictures. But no, I think it's great. I think it's fine to use your personal Facebook page, your personal social media. There's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine. JC, that's great to hear that God is first in your life. Absolutely. Irina Pack, could you please elaborate more on how you do ACH workflow in QBO? Is it sales receipts, check, and put client's bank information to make it recurring? I do not have ACH option in payment method. So for ACH payments, for monthly ACH, my client, I run it through my bank. I don't run it through QuickBooks. So you can run it through QuickBooks if you want, but I don't, because QuickBooks charges 1% for ACH transfers, which isn't crazy, but it adds up, especially for bookkeeping, because we're charging $500, $1,000 per month. So that's $10 a month. I don't want to pay that. So my bank charges 7 cents per transaction. I have ACH origination set up through my business bank account. Look it up, talk to your treasury management, talk to your cash management, ACH origination. So I collect their bank information. They sign an ACH authorization. They give me permission to pull money from their account on the first day of every month. That's how I pay myself. How often do you do these Q&A so I can tune in? I'm going to try to, I don't want to be too ambitious, but honestly, I might try to do Monday through Friday every day at 10 a.m. So with that, I am going to stop now. There's a couple questions I didn't get to. I do apologize. I'm going to stop now because I got to get back to work, but 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, we'll see. We'll see if I can keep it up. I'm not sure, but check out Zip Capital if you want to earn 8% up to 12% fixed returns. Check out all the links in the description of this video. I've got a course. I've got a free Facebook group. I've got digital downloads on my website. I have monthly or weekly private meetings every Monday at 3 p.m. You can join those. Sign up in the description below. Check out all my other YouTube videos and tune in on Monday, 10 a.m. I will see you all next week. I hope you have a great weekend.